The Nick and Matt Show.
We're jumping into this topic. No holds barred. No, maybe we'll bar some of them, but let's talk about it. Ricky announced, arguably the best player in the world, receiving Player of the Year, dropping an announcement like, hey, I've deliberated, or however he put it, like, this was a hard decision, but I'm leaving Innova. And Innova, in response, posted like, sorry to see you go, in so many words, but we're happy for you. Just really polite business transaction, it seems. We don't know what actually transpired. I'm not here to make drama, but his contract hadn't ended yet as far as contracts go. So you know that there was obviously conversations that had to be had. And let's talk about it. Evan, I think, and Nick probably agreed, but I came out and did this take 2 weeks ago. I said, it's going to happen. Ricky's going to make an announcement. He's multi-million-dollar deal, or $1 million deal at least. And you said, yeah, I'm getting in on that. Like, it's definitely happening. Is it still happening? Are you still on the same page, Evan?
Yeah, I think at this point, everyone's pretty convinced it's DD. I am as well. All signs point to that. All the leaks and rumors. I mean, just today, it got shared around at least Twitter, was a picture of Ricky Wysocki, or Saki Bomb Felons, overstable driver from DD. So I think it's that. I don't think there's much more to talk about it, but we can go on for as long as we want on Ricky to DD.
Okay, so that's where he's going. Is it going to be $1 million?
Well, I'm going to stay exactly how I was last time. If it's $1 million or more per year, then yes, he announces it. If it's not, if it's under that, if DD did 800,000 or 999,000, he's not announcing it. He's going to. I don't think Ricky's going to say he's getting less than Paul, whether he deserves it or not. I don't think he's going to say it. I think him and Paul, like, that's all they do is they compete against each other. He's going to either tie or one up Paul.
It could be. Would you be swayed at all to say, like, he comes out and announces like a $2 million 4-year contract? Would he announce that, even though it's less? I mean, like, it comes out saying like, hey, I'm going to make $2 million in 4 years.
I would be shocked. I don't think so.
I mean, that's how Paul started. When Paul was the best player, he came out with a 4-year $1 million. And I know you're saying they compete, but like, there is something to be said about like, hey, I'm making millions, right? And I feel like there's something behind that. I'm just doing this for the banter sake of it. I think your opinion's great. I wanted to share that. Nick, what do you think? Is he going to make millions? Is he going to DD? What do you think?
Where he's going, I mean, I think it's all pointing towards DD. If something else comes up, I'd be kind of mind blown by it. But I definitely think he's coming out with a big contract. And Evan pretty much said it perfectly, though. If it's less than $1 million, I don't think they announce it. Or if they do, I'd be kind of shocked at that. But if it's more than $1 million, I definitely think so, because then you would pretty much have the new highest guaranteed contract in disc golf. So yeah.
Okay. Well, great point you just brought up. Yeah, go ahead, Evan.
I want to add on to that is I don't like, if it's announced to be $1 million, I don't think it's necessarily $1 million guaranteed. It might be 500,000 a year guaranteed, and then DD's just announcing it as in, yeah, we're gonna guess it's gonna be 500,000 extra on disc sales, and then we're gonna word it as, yeah, it's probably gonna be $1 million because this is what we're guessing our sales are gonna be.
Okay. I'm taking all of your opinions that I've been hearing and I'm filtering it to what I'm feeling too, is that it's gonna be at least $1 million, and it's gonna be announced, because DD, and rightfully so, has been doing a lot of buildup and promotion around this. In their articles, they released this to the Emporia Gazette to make a post prior to it even being announced, as far as I know, anywhere else in the disc golf world. And it was kind of like leaked out there, like, hey, look at the Emporia Gazette. And then the Emporia Gazette, it says these are going to be, and this is words from DD, like two of the largest deals ever. Okay. And I feel like they wouldn't do this buildup if they weren't going to announce the dollar amount. Like, yeah, we're just going to have to ask you just to trust us. This is one of the biggest ever. Like, they did it with Kona. I love the fact that we're all speculating about this. Is it going to happen with Ricky? I say yes. I say yes regardless, because I think it's going to be big enough. but I like Evan's take. So that's Ricky Wysocki. Any follow-ups on any of that before we move on?
I mean, the way they announced Kona's contract, if Ricky is the one to be signed as the MPO player of that, I think they have a very big promotion of it, big video, everything like that, with at the end of it pretty much releasing the dollar amount, especially if it is something that's worth more than what we've seen in disc golf so far.
Okay.
I'll add real quick. I'm excited to see harp sales and pig sales before and after. We saw that when he moved to Innova. We saw harp sales decline. I don't know how strongly, but at least decline compared to pig sales rising up. Just two overstable approach discs. Like that's Ricky's bread and butter, along with a lot of people, but he sells it a lot better than anyone else. So I think it'll be really interesting, assuming he goes back to the harp since that's what he threw when he was with Latitude. I think that'll speak a lot to the deal as well, because I think it's one of the more popular discs that people attach themselves to.
The Nick and Matt Show, a disc golf podcast designed for you, the disc golfer. Find the Nick and Matt Show on your favorite podcast platforms or join the conversation live on YouTube.